What that means is that the government cannot come in and regulate or stifle speech.
Good morning, I'm Lisa Monahan in for Robin Marsh. The removal of Jimmy Kimmel's late night show is sparking conversations about free speech. We're checking in with a local attorney about what the First Amendment really allows.
And for the second time in just 4 years, Oklahoma State Parks are looking for a new restaurant partner after Lookout Kitchens announces it's closing. I'm Colby Thielen. The next steps for the Department of Tourism coming up at 6:45. And Lacey.
Right now, the Bob Mills Weather Center tracking the thunderstorms. They were severe overnight. We have power outages, some down power lines, shutting down portions of Penn Avenue. We'll talk about that, where the storms are headed, and your weekend storm timeline coming up.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
Good Friday morning. We made it to the end of the work week.
I sure did, and it was a kind of a rude awakening.
It was, and hopefully it's going to lead way to a nice calm Friday, right?
That's all we can hope for. We've got it out of the way before most people are even heading out the door.
That's right. Let's turn to the Bob Mills Weather Center. Lacey Swope standing by. Lacey, I think today into tonight, pretty much this is behind us, right?
Yes, it's gone. The rain is ending, but for some folks in the dark this morning, due to those storms overnight, they were so very electric. They had winds with them close to 60 miles per hour. Jeremy Carter was out through the overnight hours. We were bringing you those live updates. Now, a live look across the metro. It is quiet. Let me take you to the map and show you the graphic here of the time lapse of the storms rolling through Chickasha. Big upper level kind of lip of those storms coming through with winds gusting at times 50 to 60 miles per hour. And that was about 2 to 3 to 4 a.m. Now the storms are down to the southeast. We're dry in Oklahoma City, still tracking heavy rain, but nothing severe. You can see where the windiest conditions were. That was the South Metro, 35, 40, some gusts to 50 miles per hour. And that with the lightning, there are still about 2,000 customers without electricity. And we just got a picture in of some down power lines around 220th and Penn. I'm figuring out if that is the north or the south side. I believe it's the north side, but I'll get an update on that in a minute. 100 customers without power in Lincoln County, 200 in Pottawatomie County, and we are now dry across the Oklahoma City area with a few showers hanging on near Tuttle. Heavy rains moving out of Prague from Okemah down to Cromwell, all the way down to Triola. Thunderstorms are the strongest from Allen to the southeast of Ada. Now just some steady showers from Pauls Valley down to Sulphur. So dry in Oklahoma City, but some of the roads are still damp after that overnight rain. We're at 64 degrees, and the rain will be ending. We'll be in the mid-upper 80s this afternoon, maybe some 90s. More on your football forecast and the weekend rain timeline, guys. More storms for some. It's coming up.
Lacey, thank you. A three-car crash near downtown Oklahoma City sent one person to the hospital overnight. We want to show you the scene here on I-40 eastbound near I-235. It all went down around 10:45 last night. The Oklahoma Highway Patrol says a driver was possibly speeding when they crashed into two other cars. Troopers say one of those cars rolled off the I-40 bridge and then rolled toward the Oklahoma River. The driver of that car was taken to the hospital in stable condition.
A man is arrested after a pursuit and crash into an Oklahoma Highway Patrol vehicle. Troopers say it was a chase that started in Ardmore and ended on Highway 77 in southern Oklahoma. The driver collided with that trooper's vehicle, causing it to go up in flames. OHP says Trooper Hayden Darst has serious injuries, but they aren't considered life-threatening. A young witness described what she saw.
The car flipped upside down, and somebody, after the cops backed up, I think somebody was laying down, and we just saw like a bunch of smoke and fire.
The Carter County Sheriff's Office says the suspect, Laramie Hartman, is in custody on multiple complaints, including causing great bodily injury while eluding a police officer.
An Edmond family gets long-awaited justice with their niece's killer sentenced to life in prison. 19-year-old Kylie Malloy was killed in her Edmond apartment back in 2016. The case went cold until just last year when Joseph Beck confessed to an Oklahoma Highway Patrol trooper. In a statement, the family says they're happy with the verdict and they're glad they can finally move on with their lives like Kylie would have wanted.
We've been following a story of a McCurtain County jail supervisor who pleaded guilty to federal charges for his involvement in an attack on a jail inmate. Now, we want to report this morning that we incorrectly reported the Attorney General claimed audio recordings obtained by the McCurtain County Gazette were altered. In actuality, the McCurtain County Sheriff's Office were the ones who claimed those audio recordings were altered. So we apologize for that mistake. We want to make sure that we're giving everyone transparent and accurate information. 6:05 your time right now. Let's get a check of traffic as you're heading out the door this morning. Taking a live look here on the Lucky Star Skycam network. Going to see some wet roadways out there as you're heading out the door after all that rain that moved through the metro early this morning. The good news, at this point, we don't have any major incidents on our interstates. They're going to slow you down for your final day of the work week. So as you're heading out, just keep in mind, you might want to take it a little bit slower on those wet roads. The future of Jimmy Kimmel's ABC late night show remains uncertain after it was suspended over comments about the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, it's sparking debate over free speech, and several fellow late night hosts are speaking out against the move. They did it just last night. Jared Hill has more from New York.
But tonight, we are all Jimmy Kimmel.
From late night peers to legends like David Letterman.
You can't go around firing somebody because you're fearful or trying to suck up to an authoritarian.
A resounding rebuke of ABC's decision to indefinitely suspend Jimmy Kimmel Live after Kimmel's comments about the alleged killer of conservative activist Charlie Kirk in a monologue.
The MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
Two major TV station groups, Nexstar and Sinclair, quickly announced they'd preempt the show just hours after Trump-appointed FCC Chairman Brendan Carr threatened broadcasters who failed to take action against Kimmel. Nexstar is currently seeking FCC approval for a $6.2 billion merger with another media company, Tegna. Thursday, Carr suggested it's just the beginning.
This is a massive shift that's taking place in the media ecosystem, and I think the consequences are going to continue to flow.
On Air Force One, President Trump more direct about what could happen to broadcasters.
They give me only bad publicity for press. I mean, they're getting a license. I would think maybe their license should be taken away.
Anna Gomez, the only Democrat-appointed FCC commissioner, called Kimmel's suspension a dangerous new precedent. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Well, similar issues are now plaguing Oklahoma. A private school teacher here in the metro was fired after making controversial comments about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. We spoke with local attorney Ed Blau, who says the First Amendment protects people from government interference in what we say. Oklahoma State Superintendent Ryan Walters recently said he's now investigating 70 teachers over posts related to Charlie Kirk's murder.
It's my opinion that any sanction or punishment of those teachers is a clear violation of the First Amendment. That doesn't mean that whatever we say doesn't have consequences.
Now, Ed Blau says government employees cannot be fired for their opinions unless they violate a specific department rule. Private companies, however, have the right to protect their brands from public backlash.
6:08 your time right now. Maybe you woke up to the loud storms this morning as they rolled through the metro. Maybe you're wondering what's that look like for the rest of the day.
Absolutely. Hopefully the worst is behind us as we head over to the Bob Mills Weather Center. Lacey, please tell us it's just going to be a beautiful weekend.
It's nice to get the rain out of here as we get close and close to rush hour, because sometimes that can cause such big problems on the roads. Some of the roads are wet, but the rain has moved to the southeast, still tracking it down in southern and southeastern portions of the state. I'll have your Next Gen Live update. Today we're dry. Your Friday looks good, but we do have more rain and storm chances for the weekend. We'll talk about how that may impact your outdoor plans coming up.
Also coming up, another change to the CDC's vaccine recommendations could happen today. Plus, the FTC is suing Ticketmaster for inflated ticket prices. Your top national stories coming up next.
Plus, Oklahoma's narcotics director testifies before Congress about thousands of illegal marijuana grows and the violence connected to them here at home. The new laws he's now calling for in Washington. All right, 6:12 on your Friday. Kiddos looking forward to the weekend and wondering if they need an umbrella. I think it's behind us.
Yeah, they might need the rain boots, though.
Yeah.
If you got some puddles sticking around.
Some muddy puddles out there for all the kiddos. You can't keep my kids out of them, especially my son, so I get it.
Me
there
too.
will be and Lisa, you got to watch her out there.
It's so fun.
Stomping around. Today, there's going to be several areas where we had a lot of water overnight. The roads are still wet in places for sure, but the rain has ended pretty much in Oklahoma City.
You said there was an inch and a half within an
An hour in many areas. Rainfall rates, some areas were 2 inches an hour.
I believe
was
it.
Torrential rain that was coming down. It is now moving to the southeast, still raining in Oklahoma, but drying out on the roadways here in Oklahoma City. And for the kiddos at the bus stop, it is dry. Temps are in the 60s. We'll have a very slight chance of additional showers developing. And then by 3 o'clock, warm, dry. Your Friday afternoon looks good. Man, the storms were rocking and rolling overnight. Here's a shot that Bill sent us from 220th and Penn. This is up near Coffee Creek and Penn, and down power line there. The strong winds rolled through this area, 45, 50 miles per hour. We had some gusts to 60, and Jeremy Carter, he was out early this morning at about 2 a.m. bringing you live looks at thunderstorms coming in from the west. Look at the lines in the storms. That's the area of rotation. As the storm was gusting out, the winds with it started to spread out and rush away. 50 to 60 coming into Blanchard, Newcastle, Norman. That was early through Moore, and then weekend. But look at that presentation on Jeremy's night vision. Just an absolutely incredible shot. We appreciate Jeremy and all of our storm trackers so much for getting out and bringing those updates. Folks were waking up. They were calling the news station saying, hey, I am hearing thunder. The wind is hitting. What is going on? So we were bringing you those live updates. Let me take you to the map and show you where the storms are now. They're from Henrietta to McAllister to Atoka and Ada. Pretty much dry in Oklahoma City. Some showers to the south back to Hobart ongoing now. And the winds that came through, they were very intense. We had winds anywhere from 45 to 50. You can see them start to gust out. Though on radar, that's what it looked like as Jeremy was showing us that shot coming across I-44, Newcastle, Hayday, South Moore, all the way up to Lake Thunderbird, and then fell apart. The bulk of the winds were 35 to 40, but some gusts to 50, and that's enough to cause power outages. We still have about 2,000 customers without power this morning, 700 in Logan County, 100 in Lincoln County. The number was up to about 3,500 in Oklahoma County for a while, but a lot has been restored, and that's a good thing. We're dry on Next Gen and OKC. Still light rain from Cogar to Lakiba to Hinton to Tuttle, Norman. Couple sprinkles going on there. Drying out in Shawnee over to Little. Everything's pressing to the east, crossing 377 now. And there's the rain from Wetumpka to Calvin, back down to Allen, Stonewall through Ada. Davis still going to rain for the next 30, 45 minutes. Back to Bailey and Rush Springs. This is kind of tracking to the southeast. So all the rain that we've seen just past midnight has been very heavy in spots, especially along and south of I-40. 1 inch to 2 to 3 inches in localized spots. Across the metro, no flooding ongoing, but still some ponding, and definitely some of the puddles will be lingering this morning. The bulk of the rain is moving out, and here's a live look from downtown on our Lucky Star Skycam network. It is 64 right now. There are low 60s. It's cool. There's some 50s for folks in the northwest. Winds are still a little gusty in those storms, 35 to 40, but not severe. And we're back to the 80s and the 90s later for your Friday afternoon. So what does that mean for heading to all the high school games? Great, amazing football weather. 80s to start, falling into the 70s with light winds. It'll be beautiful and absolutely amazing. Up in Stillwater, Boone-Pickens Stadium, as the Cowboys take on the Hurricane. We're talking 85 into the 70s later this afternoon. But more rain is on the way. We've got this big area of spin. The whole thing is kind of a huge area of low pressure, but one area is moving out, pushing the rain out of Oklahoma, and now the next round is coming in, pushing to the south, bringing storm chances tonight in northern Oklahoma. We'll watch for a complex to roll through. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s. Now, the key with the night and morning rain tomorrow is where does the boundary go from those storms? Some data keeps it to the north of Oklahoma City and says storm spire up to the north. Some data presses it through and has storm spiring down to the south. So we've kind of got a broad brush, a wide area here where storms could form tomorrow afternoon. David will have the latest later today for the timing and the location of the rain, because one of the big factors tomorrow is what's going to happen down in Norman. Well, we know OU's going to win as they take on Auburn. Kickoff is at 2:45, but there is a rain and storm chance. Right now, it's about a 30% chance. Temperatures will fall into the 60s as we head into your Sunday morning with more rain overnight into early Sunday. Another storm arrives Monday for the first day of fall, and it's going to feel like fall. Highs in the 70s next week. Lisa, back to you.
Lacey, thank you. Hey, it is 6:17 on your Friday, and you are taking a live look at Washington, D.C. this morning, where Oklahoma's top drug agent testified for members of Congress yesterday. The Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics Director Donnie Anderson warned lawmakers about Chinese nationals that are making Oklahoma a hub for illegal marijuana farms. OBN has already shut down more than 3,000 illegal grow operations in just the last 3 years. Anderson says he's seen an increase in violent crimes, including murder, connected to illegal grows.
Associated crimes including human and sex trafficking, money laundering, illegal gambling.
This time is...
Yes, and Anderson requested more enforcement from the federal government as well as new legislation.
President Donald Trump is expected to meet with Chinese leader Xi Jinping today to discuss the sale of popular social media app TikTok. Chinese officials say a deal regarding the app's ownership was reached and could be finalized today. This will be the second meeting between the two leaders since President Trump launches sky-high tariffs on China, triggering a back-and-forth trade war.
Well, more changes could be coming to the childhood vaccine schedule. Thursday, CDC's advisory panel voted to change its recommendation on the MMRV vaccine from 1 years old to 4. Okay, today the committee is set to vote on delaying COVID-19 and hepatitis B vaccines.
The Federal Trade Commission in 7 states have filed a joint lawsuit against Ticketmaster and Live Nation. They're accusing the companies of advertising lower ticket prices and then allowing scalpers to buy and resell them at inflated prices. The FTC says Ticketmaster controls at least 80% of the ticket market.
6:19 on your Friday morning. If you're heading out the door, I want to take a quick check here of the roadways. We are looking at our Lucky Star Skycam network. As you can see, no major accidents to report out on the interstates. There could be some ponding from the rain that rolled through early this morning. So just give yourself a little bit of extra time as you're heading out the door. Buckle up and be safe.
Well, coming up with the war between Russia and Ukraine, of course, Ukrainian doctors treat war injuries daily, but they have limited training. Coming up, we're going to show you how an Oklahoma surgeon is working to change that right here in our state. Back after this.
Welcome back. Doctors from Ukraine are here in the metro to practice a new technique they really can't learn anywhere else.
Yeah, it's expected to help them go back home and then treat those that were injured in war. News 9's Elizabeth Fitz sat down with a doctor who helped bring those surgeons to Oklahoma City.
Although they are fully trained doctors and very talented, their medical training system does not allow for them to learn some of these more advanced techniques that are often used in countries like the United States.
Dr. Mark Mims with OU Health recognized the need for more training in the war-stricken country of Ukraine.
Not only are we, doing the trainings, which is great, but we're trying to build that awareness that there is still a need for help that is needed in Ukraine. There is still a large volume of these patients who are coming in with these horrific injuries. The types of injuries that we in the United States may only see a few times per year, they're seeing a few times per day. And it's every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Dr. Mims says when doctors first arrived,
I think they're still very much in the war zone mentality. There will be times where they will see a bird flying in the air and they start looking for cover because to them, anything that flies in the air is a drone and it may be coming to hurt them.
He says they adjust after a couple of weeks and are eventually able to take the skills they learn back to other Ukrainian doctors.
For the type of surgeries that our department teaches them, which is advanced head and neck reconstruction, their outcomes are basically on par with their U.S. counterparts. So in the most advanced type of techniques, if the U.S. success rate is around 90 to 95%, they're probably in the 80 to 85 success rate.
Elizabeth Fitz, Oklahoma's own News 9.
And so far, Operation Ukraine has trained 32 different surgeons from 6 specialties.
All right, 6:24 here on your Friday morning, and as we're talking about inching closer to fall, that also means a lot of the fun hunting seasons for the Lacey's.
It's getting here.
Getting closer and closer. October 1st is when archery season opens. Dove season's open right now, guys, and we have had a lot of water across Oklahoma, some storms overnight. Let me show you this video coming in from the Mustang area. Listen to this. Yeah, that's a rude wake-up call. That lightning struck that tree. My goodness, listen to the rumbles going around. Yeah, that can cause big fires and just very, very unnerving. We've had numerous power outages due to lightning overnight and the winds overnight as well. Let me take you to the map and show you as those storms were rolling through. Started about 1 o'clock in the morning to the west. The line filled in, came across the metro. We've had anywhere at one point we had about 4,000 customers without power. That is down now from what it was. There are power lines down at 220th and Penn. Penn is shut down in that area. We have a news tracker there. We'll be showing you that coming up. There's radar of the rain moving down to the southeast. It will be ending through the morning, and that means we are dry in Oklahoma City. We're in the 60s. We're warming to the upper 80s later today. A warm Friday, but dry. Now, rain chances do return for your weekend. Saturday night into Sunday, off and on early next week. Your rain timeline is coming up.
When the nurse showed me limb by limb, she would pull the blanket back. It was terrible. I almost couldn't hold myself together.
10 days after a dog attack, an Okmulgee woman's daughter is still fighting for her life in a Tulsa hospital. The life-altering injuries her family says she's now facing.
You're watching Oklahoma's own News 9 this morning.
Good morning. It is 6:30 on your Friday. Taking a live look downtown Oklahoma City on the Lucky Star Skycam network. Stormy start to the day, but things clearing out. Should be a nice Friday shaping up. We're glad that you're with us here as we now head into the weekend. Do you have big weekend plans, Lisa?
Nope, just going to enjoy the weekend.
Yeah, we start soccer this weekend.
Ooh, that's fun.
Got to get,
maybe the fair. I think a lot of people will head out to the state fair.
Yeah, it should be nice for that today,
Last weekend for it.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
this is
got to get it going when you can. How about you, Lace?
This is it.
Enjoy the weekend with the family.
Yeah.
That is my goal for sure. Watch a lot of college football. That's the plan.
Yeah.
Starting today, the OSU game. Tomorrow, the big OU game. We'll talk about the forecast. They're both home games coming up. And today, we are dry. There's a live look at the fairgrounds. The rain has moved through. It was noisy overnight. Those storms were rocking and rolling, but they have moved out of Oklahoma City. We're still tracking them for folks in southern and southeast Oklahoma. Let me show you a picture here from 220th and Penn. This is in the northwest side of the metro. Lex Stanfield is getting into position where this down power line has shut down Penn for them to restore this. So we'll be showing you that on a map coming up in just a little bit. Right now, there are still 2,000 customers without power due to those storms, which woke many folks up overnight last night. They were loud. Folks were calling into the newsroom. Jeremy Carter was out for you, tracking those live. Now, nothing severe. The rain is moving out. It's going from Wewoka to Henrietta down to McAllister, Ada. Still raining pretty heavily. Storms are loud. Coming into Ardmore, back down to the south. Dry in OKC. Little rain going on in the South Metro, the East Metro. This is moving into Okemah and actually moving out of Okemah now. Down to Holdenville, Calvin, Ada, Sulphur, Davis, Falls Creek. Still moderate to heavy rain for you, and that goes all the way down to Hilton, Ringling, and Ardmore. Dry in Oklahoma City. That doesn't mean the roads are dry. They're still damp in many areas. 64 is your temperature, and we're warm into the 80s later today. More rain and storm chances tonight. We'll talk about storm chances for your Saturday, even Saturday night. Many waves headed our way. It's coming up.
Well, a fishing trip on the Neosho River ends in tragedy after a Fort Gibson man drowns. 39-year-old Thomas Edward Barnett Jr. went missing Wednesday night. A search was launched, but crews were unable to find him until Thursday morning. State officials are urging boaters and anglers to wear life jackets while on the water. And we have been following the story of a McCurtain County jail supervisor who pled guilty to federal charges involving an attack on a jail inmate. And we need to inform you that we incorrectly reported the Attorney General claimed that the audio recordings in that case by the McCurtain County Gazette were altered. It was actually the McCurtain County Sheriff's Office that claimed those audio recordings were altered, and we want to apologize for that mistake and want to make sure that we are giving everyone the most accurate information.
This morning, a woman is in the hospital after she says that she was attacked by 2 dogs in Okmulgee.
It's a heartbreaking story. Janelle Scott's injuries were so severe she will lose her arm and leg. News 9's Chloe Abbott spoke with Janelle's mother and says that she just hopes her daughter survives.
Cheryl Scott and her daughter Janelle have always been there to support one another.
Me and her are really close, and because after her dad died, she's been taking care of me. She comes over, mows my grass, takes the trash out, cleans my house.
Cheryl says Janelle and her boyfriend were riding bikes to a friend's house last week when that friend's two pit bulls attacked Janelle. Janelle's boyfriend was too far behind when the attack started. Cheryl says Janelle knew the dogs' names and was calling them to stop, but they didn't. Janelle got away once, but one of the dogs caught her again and bit her thigh.
That's when my nightmare started, because he texted me at 1:30 in the morning telling me that she got attacked by dogs and she was flown to a hospital in Tulsa.
Janelle Scott has been here at the hospital for 10 days. She's had multiple surgeries to remove her arm and leg and could be looking at a few more. Her mother, Cheryl, says she knows recovery won't be easy, and they're looking at a months-long hospital stay.
When the nurse showed me limb by limb, she would pull the blanket back. It was terrible. I almost couldn't hold myself together.
Doctors told them Janelle could lose her other leg, and that's when Janelle told her mother she's losing hope.
I just tell her I love her constantly, and that I need her, that her son needs her, and we're so thankful that she is still with us.
As Janelle keeps fighting for her life, Cheryl won't leave her side.
Even if I lose my job, I will still be here. She means the world to me. She's my only daughter.
I called Okmulgee police to find out what happened to the dogs and if anyone will be held responsible, but I haven't gotten a call back yet.
That was Chloe Abbott reporting. We do have ways to help Janelle and Cheryl Scott over on our website, news9.com.
6:35, if you're heading out the door to Friday, you have finally made it to the end of the work week, and we want to take a live look at what you'll be hitting as you head out the door. This is our Lucky Star Skycam network. We're also taking a closer look at what is happening up in the right-hand corner of your screen here. This is actually down power lines near Northwest 220th and Penn. Our news trackers there gathering more information. I can expect that probably in that area there are some power outages. We have been watching power outages this morning. At last check, around 2,000 reported in the metro. Obviously, it will take crews some time to get out. And if you're heading out the door, give yourself a little extra time. There was ponding on the roadway this morning when those storms rolled through. We're going to continue to follow us. We'll check back in with Lacey Swope coming up in just a moment.
There are a lot of things that can be better, and it's going to take us a little bit of time to get some of those things addressed.
We're hearing from former interim Oklahoma County Jail CEO Paul Timmons after his resignation Monday. He had big plans to reform the jail after the former CEO Brandy Garner's resignation earlier this year. In that statement, Timmons says, quote, "I was fortunate to work alongside dedicated colleagues and community partners whose support and collaboration made our progress possible." He goes on to say, "I am eager to apply what I've learned to future leadership opportunities where I can make a positive impact."
Well, the Oklahoma Department of Corrections announces its support for the FCC's proposal to jam signals from smuggled-in cell phones. The DOC hopes it will help cut down on crime inside the jails. Chief of Public Relations, Kay Thompson, says people on the inside use those phones to connect with people on the outside. Often, they're doing it to get contraband inside the facilities.
Drugs, tobacco. My favorite one is someone got homemade tamales delivered.
Oh, wow. If the FCC votes yes to the plan at the end of the month, the Department of Corrections will begin installing the technology in its prisons.
Interim jail CEO Tim Kimry is now calling for urgent pay raises for detention officers, and this is all because of safety concerns. Kimry told the Oklahoma County Budget Board yesterday that his officers are constantly being attacked by inmates. The jail loses an average of 215 employees each year, with an average salary of just under $31,000.
Well, tonight, the Oklahoma State Cowboys will face off against the Golden Hurricane in the Turnpike Classic. Both teams will be looking for a better performance from their quarterbacks. Here's what head coach Mike Gundy has to say about freshman Zane Flores.
I don't know that, NFL scouts would come in here right now and say that he's got that type of arm talent for their level, but he's a young player and he has plenty of arm talent to be successful for us.
Kickoff for OSU set for 6:30 tonight in Stillwater. The Sooners also at home this Saturday. They're going to face off against Auburn, the new home of former quarterback Jackson Arnold. Kickoff there set for 2:30. And as we turn to the Bob Mills Weather Center, Lacey, you were kind of telling us that I think there may be some different models give different data as far as the OU game is concerned. Tonight, though, looks great.
Tonight for the OSU game, it looks dry. For Friday Night Football, it looks dry. Tomorrow, up in the air is where these storms take off. We'll have a complex tonight that'll put an outflow boundary out. That outflow boundary fires up with storms tomorrow afternoon. So where exactly is it? To the north, to the south? There's a 30% chance of storms tomorrow in Norman. That does include Oklahoma City as well. This morning, we had heavy rain. Severe storms blow through. We'll give you a live look on Next Gen and what to expect for your Friday. Your full weekend forecast is coming up.
Also coming up, for the second time in 4 years, Oklahoma State Parks are looking for a new restaurant partner. The next steps after the break.
And OG&E is introducing a new way they hope customers can save. The new feature that will show you which appliances cost you the most. We're back after this. 6:45 your time this morning as we take a look toward our weekend and what we can expect. We had some strong storms this morning, caused some down power lines and some power outages.
Yeah, it was a lot of rain. It was blinding rain when it was falling. Many folks were waking up. They were calling the station. They were saying, hey, I'm hearing this. What's going on? We were live on the air bringing updates. Jeremy Carter was out overnight. Let me show you some of the video that he had from overnight. Look at the storm as it was approaching. The strongest cell was the one that moved through Blanchard, Newcastle, Norman, Moore, and Jeremy Carter was right there at the base of it, of course, watching it for you. What you're seeing in the shot is the updraft of the storm that is actually gusting out. So it looks like a whale's mouth, we call it, and that's all that cool, rain-cooled air rushing out away from the storm. Looks very ominous. There was also some mid-level rotation. You can see the lines there. We call those stacked plates. That's when the storm is getting that area of spin. Nothing low levels as far as a tornado threat with them this morning, but man, they were loud. Look at the lightning on his night vision shot. It was almost continuous with some of these storms. So of course, we do have power outages due to that, but also the wind. Let me show you radar of what these storms look like. They flared up at about 1 o'clock in the morning. The line filled in, and now the line goes from McAllister to Atoka, almost down to Texas. We are dry in Oklahoma City with a little rain going on in the southwest. Now, this is back to about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning when the storms were really cranking up near Tuttle and Newcastle. Jeremy Carter was showing you that moving across. Winds were anywhere from 55 to 60 miles per hour, and they were moving at about 30. So there was a lot of motion, a lot of wind, 40 to 50 mile an hour wind gusts measured, and even had 40 mile an hour wind gusts over near Shawnee. So the result is now Penn is closed on the northwest side from 220th to 234th. So that was a shot of the power lines down. Bill sent that to us to let us know Penn is closed. And actually right now we have our news trackers out and they are at this scene to show you. I want to show you on a map first. Here's Edmond. Okay, here's I-35. There's Portland. Here's Penn and 234th to the west of Oak Tree is closed. You cannot travel it. Let me show you the shot. We've been watching Lex's shot and people keep coming up to this intersection and having to turn around. So I don't know how long it'll take them to get that power pole uprighted. And if that's part of your drive, you're going to find an alternate route for sure. And plus folks are without electricity because of that. Let me show you. We've had anywhere from at one point almost 4,000 customers without power. That's down to 2,000. Getting some additional power outages now in Stevens, Pontotoc, and Hughes County, where the rain is currently falling. Nothing going on in Oklahoma City now. The rain goes from Mulgee, Highway 75, moves down to Wetumpka and Ada, drying now in Pauls Valley. Pretty heavy storm about to head over Crusher, Gene Autry, and this will head over towards the south side of Sulphur, and more rain ongoing back to Mangum and Willow, but we're clear overhead. Looking on the northern side of things on our Lucky Star Skycam network, this is American Fidelity pointed to the northeast. Crystal clear. 64 degrees is the current temperature. We picked up 1 to 2 to locally 3 inches of rain in spots. It was great rains, but look at downtown. Not a drop. Those storms went to the north, fired to the east, and all across the south metro. It was heavy, now continuing down to the south. So as you're heading out in the 60s, lower mid 60s, Ceiling, you fall into 59. Woodward, 59 as well. Our winds will be out of the south this afternoon, and watch us warm to the mid upper 80s, some low 90s. It's going to be a warm day, partly cloudy, and by this evening, just amazing football weather. Up at Boone Pickens Stadium, 6:30 kickoff. OSU taking on Tulsa. Temperatures will be in the 80s and then falling into the low 70s by the fourth quarter and dry. But then we got to watch our next storm. And here it is. It's coming through the Dakotas, headed to Nebraska. That comes through tonight, and storms take off in Kansas this evening. What does that mean for Oklahoma? They try to make it from Ponca to Tulsa to Miami. Right now, it does not look like the rain makes it to Oklahoma City tonight, but we'll have to watch it. Temps will be in the 60s and 70s tomorrow morning. And as those storms weaken, the winds change direction and an outflow boundary gets put out and kind of stalls somewhere either north of Oklahoma City or possibly to the south. And for your Saturday, we'll warm to the 80s and 90s, but then storm chances do go up in the afternoon. Now, there's a very low risk these storms produce wind and hail to the severe limits. Most will not be severe, but some lightning will be possible within them as well. But it's not locked in. You notice it's kind of a broad brush, 40%. It's hard to say where they will fire up. If you get a storm in Norman, of course, we will let you know. And if you have the News 9 app, it will alert you to the rain going on or lightning approaching your area. Temperatures will be in the mid 80s. Hopefully no rain in Norman. There's a slight chance as temperatures drop to the low 80s by the fourth quarter. Temperatures will be in the low 80s on Sunday. Look at your rain chances. Saturday night into Sunday, they go up. Again, Monday night into Tuesday, and then fall feel is here. Highs in the 70s next week. Back to you guys.
Breaking news this morning as we go live out to Northwest 10th and Villa, where our news tracker Joey Mitchell and Brianna Brown are there. Gunshots heard in the area. What's the latest out there, Brianna? Okay, here's what we know from our initial reports, that this Los Chapines tire shop at Northwest 10th and Villa received gunshots to the front window there. We're told that the window is completely gone. We are working to learn more information from Oklahoma City Police, but within just the last hour, we heard that there were gunshots in the area of Northwest 10th and Villa. And as we rolled up on the scene there, a witness told us that someone had shot out the windows there. You are taking a live look at what is a developing scene at Northwest 10th and Villa from our news tracker, Joey Mitchell. We'll try to get more information from Brianna Brown and pass it along to you right here on News 9 and the News 9 app. Now, for the second time in the last 4 years, the state is searching for a new restaurant operator for Oklahoma State Parks.
Yeah, it's the final straw in a months-long rocky relationship over allegations of hundreds of thousands of dollars in overdue bills. News 9's Matt McCabe has the latest.
Meals at the Lookout Kitchen in Oklahoma State Parks will be a thing of the past at the end of this month. Ardmore's Chamber of Commerce and Tourism Authority CEO Bill Murphy learned the news on Thursday.
I know this is the second restaurant operator in my 4 years that I've been here, so we are hopeful that the third time is a charm.
Lake Murray near Ardmore is one of 5 state park locations for the restaurant. Representative Tammy Townley is the chair of the House Tourism Committee and represents the area. She has followed a fracture in the vendor relationship that first began in May.
If it had to come at a time, this is probably the better time for it to happen because we're at the end of the summer lull. And we'll have it geared back up and ready to go before it gets busy again.
Well, the state claims it is owed money, and the operator claims it covered expenses for the state.
These guys do an amazing job.
It's yet to be seen on how the Department of Tourism will break the cycle with its next operator.
My personal opinion, I don't feel like the state needs to make a whole lot of money on the restaurants. We need to make sure that it's a good service. We need to make sure that the taxes are paid, the bills are paid, any maintenance and repair is paid, the employees are paid, and after that, I want that restaurant to be super, super successful.
But I think that the next operator is going to have some opportunities to, again, look for ways to creatively engage the community.
The lakefront views will remain, but the name on the doors outside will change. Matt McCabe, Oklahoma Zone, News 9.
We did ask the governor's office if the second breakup at state parks is a reflection of the Department of Tourism's management and oversight abilities. So far, we have not heard back.
Well, the Oklahoma City National Memorial and Museum is getting a major upgrade. The Forward Edition will add more than 10,000 square feet of additional space. That includes a new lobby, orientation gallery, and film studio. The groundbreaking is anticipated in December. OG&E is introducing a new way for customers to save money on their electricity bill. The company is launching new insight tools to help customers manage their energy use. You can now see what appliances in your home are using the most energy and receive personal tips on ways to save money. You can also compare your home's efficiency to those nearby.
6:50 your time right now. Let's get one more check of traffic as you're heading out the door this morning, taking a live look across the metro here on the Lucky Star Skycam network. And as you can see here in the top right-hand corner, that's a shot from our news tracker, Lex Stanfield. He's on some down power lines at 220th and Penn. We were being told that it was shut down all the way from 220th up to 234th this morning. So just a heads up, after those storms rolled through, might see some areas like this. Down in the bottom left here on I-44, looks like traffic pretty heavy this morning. Certainly going to be that way as we near 7 a.m. So we'll keep you posted both here and on the News 9 app. You can find the latest at 7:26.
Coming up, fall is prime season for hunting, fishing, and camping. Our Lacey Swope is learning the Oklahoma Wildlife Management area, showing you all of these. You won't want to miss her adventure and so many more in our upcoming Fall Adventure Special Monday night at 7. I'm going to go back out to this breaking news near Northwest 10th and Villa, where we have reports of a shooting at this particular tire shop, the Los Champinis tire shop. There, we are told that someone drove by and shot out the windows there at that particular tire shop there right next door, a gun shop. This is all information coming from an eyewitness to our crews there at the scene. This is a live look from our news trackers, Joey Mitchell and Brianna Brown. We are working to get more information from Oklahoma City Police, and we'll have an update for you coming up later this morning.
The fact that I'm kidnapping now, the FBI is making me work for them. I have no choice. They're going to put everyone away if I don't.
That was Sylvester Stallone teasing the third season of Tulsa King. It airs Sunday. Season 1, of course, was filmed primarily in Oklahoma. Production left for Season 2, but it's now returning to film a large portion of Season 3 right here in the city. I like Sly's suit. And I will say, that's been one thing since they've been filming around Oklahoma. I just want to meet Sylvester Stallone. I haven't had the chance. Everybody keeps running into him, and I'm like, why can't I meet Sly?
We're going to see him as an extra. He's just in the background.
That would be amazing.
I got a pinstripe suit.
Watching.
I got a pinstripe suit. Let's go. We'll have updates at 7:26.